in New York City, and I'm co-hosting a booth with the legendary Randolfe Wicker, the first ever out queer man on television. Randy Wicker!
Well, yes, we are. We're here. We have our own booth, and we're ready to be inundated with all those people that need some independent queer media. And I'm working here with Ryan Wolowski.
Here it is, the 39th annual Heritage of Pride Parade.
He's been featured on Here TV, TV's Hot Gay Comics, and has performed all over New York. I don't know doing what, but he's about to tell us. Please give it up for Christian Cintron.
Hi everybody, how you doing? Happy Pride? Woo! I think it's great that one time a year we can all get together, get hot, naked, and sweaty. What? Yes, it's funny that Wilson had a little trouble with my name, Cintron. It's a little weird when Americans pronounce it because they're like, Cintron, what's that? That sounds like some sort of evil robot, right? And like a Christian video game. Cintron, Cintron. And then out comes like, you know, Cintron versus the Lamb of God. It's like,
As you can see, the 39th annual Heritage of Pride Parade had a little bit of rain, but it's never been dampered. The show must go on, and Cruz, our MC, is here. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm dry.
You're dry.
Although at one point there was lightning and I was trying to hold on to the metal tent and I was a little scared.
Now, the last time I saw you, it was Reflection Day in Fire Island on the Pines. Oh. Such a beautiful sunny day. Now, you're on the West Coast. How often do you get to come back to New York to host events and just to hang out?
I come back to the East Coast all the time. I'm from here. I'm from Brooklyn. So my brother lives here in town, and I come see him whenever I can. And some of my best friends live here in town, and I come see the shows. And I try to keep a foothold in New York as much as possible, just to keep me, grounded, and back in my real world, my real life.
Now, we're 39 years into this event, but there are other things happening in the LGBT community that I would like to give this man a ton of credit Before there was ever 24-hour queer television on cable or even the internet, this man openly took proud roles as an HIV-positive character, as an openly gay man, and just gave us someone to look up to before we had networks that gave it to us all day. Was that a decision that you made, and was there any animosity from maybe agents saying, well, if you do that, we're not going to be able to get you more work, Wilson?
Well, the agents and managers do what they do. That's their job, is to have opinions and try to guide your career. My job is to be an artist and to use my abilities to tell the stories that interest me, and what happens to interest me are what our experiences are. It was lightning. What our experiences are right now, which is, at the end of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st century, we were dealing with HIV and AIDS. We were dealing with gay rights, and I wanted to tell our stories, and especially tell the stories of gay men of color, and show what it's like to have lived through this time, and to tell our stories as honestly as possible. And so I was handed the opportunity to do it, and I relished it and ran with it.
You're back on stage in a second, and we may have rain, so I'm going to be really fast. I heard there may be a Noah's Ark movie.
There is a Noah's Ark movie.
Yes!
I am not in it, but there is. It's done. It'll be out in October. What I hear is that it's very, very good. I could be in it because I had other things to do, but and they're going to bring me back for the next movie. So I have a film called He's Just Not That Into You that's coming out in February with Drew Barrymore, and then I'm on a new series for Stephen Bochco called Raising the Bar that premieres in September.
And in the film Coffee Date with Debbie Gibson, which we'll talk about at another day, because the one thing I do want to ask you is, we're talking about things that have scripts. Here's a live stage, live thunderstorms, live rain. What is it you're going to try to utilize from within to give people pride here at the 39th annual Heritage of Pride Parade?
What am I going to what?
What are you going to give without a script to send people home with pride?
Oh, I think, I think pride has become a real a year-round celebration, but it all culminates in this weekend. And I think what people want is to feel they can celebrate what's happened within the last 365 days. And what really has happened in this past year is unbelievable. I mean, we're living in historic times. And I'm hoping that I can leave people with a sense that they can take a deep breath and kind of take it all in and really acknowledge what we've been able to do in the last year, which is a lot. When we look at gay marriage in California and how the state of New York is willing to recognize those marriages, I mean, it's huge. And the fact that we may be having an African American president in the next years, it's unbelievable. So I think I'm going to leave people with hopefully the thought of, you know what, I need to enjoy this moment because I want to remember that I was here during it.
I think Mother Nature must have heard Wilson Cruz, because look, there's no more rain, there's no more thunder, the stage is awaiting you. Checking in with Wilson Cruz here at the 39th annual Heritage of Pride Pridefest. No, free.
We're rolling and action.
39 years in the making. There have been so many different types of Pride events. Well, it's all happening today, different weather. We had sunshine, we had rain, and this is my sunshine right now, Josh Zuckerman, one of our featured performers right behind us at the Heritage of Pride stage. How are you, Josh?
I'm great.
Was it raining when you came here?
No, not when I first got here.
So you are our sunshine. Have you ever performed for Heritage of Pride here at the Pridefest event?
I think it was a few years ago, yes, I have.
So last year, Heritage of Pride tried to move the event here into the West Village area and weren't able to due to permits, so we're welcoming the event back. What do you do when you're on stage at a Pride event that may be different from when you're over in the Village at Wicked Willie's or one of your shows out at a major venue, but you're at a Pride event and you want to send people home with Pride?
Well, basically my music is all about being true to yourself, so what better place than to perform the music and the lyrics that I try to convey in on my CDs, but to be at a Pride event, I mean, where you're all about being true to yourself and being real.
Something quite real. Josh Zuckerman, how many songs are you going to perform today?
I'm performing 3 songs.
3 songs. Now, what time are you going to go on? This is a 2-part question.
Yeah, well, things might have changed because of the rain, but around 4:30 or so, 4:30, 4:45, you can expect me to be on stage.
And one of the great things about this event is we just grabbed Josh when we saw him walking. This is Pridefest. This is an event where we get to see the top of queer media, top of people who want to just find information, or people who just live in the neighborhood and want to come out. And that's part of the reason why we're all out here celebrating the 39th annual Heritage of Pride Parade right here at Pridefest with Josh Zuckerman. We Pride.
You too.
We're going to catch him on the stage in just a bit. Yay! You do know that it was 39 years in the making. Well, that's what this event, the Heritage of Pride, is celebrating. But a lot of major queer things were happening, including the first ever out person to use their own name on television, national major network, Randolfe Wicker. How are you?
I'm just fine. I'm still going strong. That was 1964, so here I am 44 years later.
Now, 1964, there were no gay people on television. There was not 24-hour queer television networks. There were not film festivals. Where did you get the courage, Randolph, to do it? Without a mask, without a bag?
I began with radio. I began with the outraged psychiatrist saying they could cure you in 6 hours at $50 an hour in those days. That was like a lot of money. It was all fraud, and I said, look, we're the experts on homosexuality. I began on WBAI in 1962 on radio, and then they tried to take away BAI's license, and the Federal Communications Commission said homosexuality was a legitimate subject for discussion on radio and television. And all of a sudden, all the doors opened, and I was the only person who was articulate and informed, didn't have some big cheese job that I was afraid of losing, who could go out there and face the music and face the camera and take call in phone calls from viewers and everything else on TV.
Now that was 5 years before the Stonewall uprising on Christopher Street. Did you expect the world to really change? Because you were part of what was called the Mattachine Society, which was an out-group helping people who were arrested for dancing in a gay bar or dancing with clothes of the wrong gender, which I don't even want to get into that. But were you surprised 5 years later, after you took to television, that the world changed?
Well, you know, I think I discovered something very early as a gay activist, and that was that if you speak reasonably and make a reasonable presentation of your case to people that knew nothing about homosexuality, the public in general was willing to listen, and once they were willing to listen, they were willing to change their minds somewhat, at least, you know, and that process just took on. And because I came out early and I was out there, we used to think if everyone knew we were gay, someone knew we were gay, we'd be beat up on the street. And the fact of the matter is that people actually, I got up and gave a speech once on Wicker Street in 1961 or something, saying there's a gay bar down the street and they pay off the cops, and I don't think it's in the interest of the community to have a corrupted police department. Homosexuals have the right to dance and assemble like everyone else, and I think it's in the interest of the public to have legal gay bars. And most of the people in the audience were heterosexual, and I got a warm smattering of applause. So even though I was shaking like this when I got up there, I found out that if you get up there and speak your piece, that people are more accepting and more tolerant than we give them credit for.
Now, if you think we're just talking about what Randy did in 1964 before Stonewall, forget about it. We're in the now. You thought he did it first on television? He did. You thought he did it first on radio? He did. Well, guess what he's doing today? It's his first ever booth at Pridefest. Take a look behind us. This is the Randolfe Wicker reporting booth. Now, this is your first booth. We're going to wrap here. Tell me about your first booth at Pridefest, Randolfe Wicker.
It was a nightmare. Rains came. The gods were angry. Zeus would have no more of it. We were huddled here. Rain was dripping. Look at the canopy. Look, the first time we put up, but don't miss that wonderful design, the tip canopy.
But Randy,
pouring in on us. It was horrible, and then it all disappeared, and now it's getting muggy and hot again, and it's dry, and I'm about to sweat again, and I see the clouds, the sky's darkening, and I'm all ready for it. It's going to go on and on and on, till finally it's over when the sun sets. And I'll tell you, I'll be so glad when the day is done. I've had some wonderful interviews, but I tell you, this rain.
Randy, I gotta ask you. Rain is not in your favor. Are you discouraged right now?
Oh no. You know, you have more fun in life when everything goes wrong and it's an utter mess. I'm sure we're going to be sitting and laughing and talking about how we put up the tent so it leaked in the middle, you know, and how we got more carbon than people that were interested, you know, and how all this stuff, how crazy everything was getting here. And when we got here, we didn't know how to open this tent. I'd never put up a tent before, and thank God for the women. They were over there. They said, what would men do without women? Let me tell you, we would be lost. I wouldn't have this tent up without the women, you know, and doing it was a real trip, as they used to say in Hindieville.
Well, we got to get back to our booth. Right. Doing it first with Randolfe Wicker at the 39th Annual Heritage of Pride Parade and Pridefest. Before Stonewall ever even happened, to right now, Velasquez. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling neglected. How do I get a hug?
Oh, it's love here.
Brendan is visiting us from Baltimore, and this is his first time ever performing in, well, Pridefest. What was it like performing here?
It was awesome performing at Pridefest. It took a lot to get here. We were in the subway, and when we got out, it was raining. It was pouring, and we just made it happen, and we did with what we could. And even though my set was cut short, we still had to make it happen. So it was awesome.
There is lightning happening, rainstorms, and all kind of an excitement. But I want to go back to Baltimore. I've been to, what is the club? Hippos?
Hippo.
It's Cintron. It's not a plus-size club. It's actually just the name of the club. But what is Pride like in Baltimore, and how is it different here in New York?
Pride in Baltimore was awesome. It's my hometown. I did a couple shows in Boston and DC, and I have to say, Baltimore Pride was the best. The unity, the music, everyone coming out. you know, the stage fest when I performed was great. All my friends were there. But Pridefest in New York is amazing because it's just so big and there's so many people here and we get to do interviews.
As a New Yorker, I'm honored, So, but what would it be like if I were to go to Baltimore? What would I expect?
If you went to Baltimore, you would expect to be mugged probably.
You know, I expect to be harassed by the cops. When I was working at Hippos for a video shoot, they were like, watch the police officers if you don't have your seatbelt on. They are the nastiest people. They're like overly forceful. Is that true?
Well, they need so much money because the city's so broke. But I love Baltimore, don't get me wrong, but I've lived there my whole life and I'm trying to expand my horizon.
Have you met John Waters?
John Waters, I have not met John Waters, but I've seen lots of his movies and I'm a big fan.
Well, he's in town as well. And one thing we want to talk about police officers, 39 years ago, they were actually breaking up the Stonewall dance club. People of the same gender dancing together, maybe wearing clothes of the other gender. And today they're here protecting us and making sure that even if there's thunder, that we're not going to get electrocuted.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride! We're going to go back to the stage. Brian Kent is here, Josh Zuckerman, and a lot more happy, hot, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered stuff.
Is it gonna stand by your side? Does the man even know you're alive? Don't you?
You know, Pride has sunshine, Pride has protesters, Pride has rain, and Pride has singers, and sometimes the singers, well, they don't get to perform because of the rain. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite voices in New York, Brian Kent. How are you?
Good, thank you. Sad about the rain.
You know, I want to thank you because he's been standing under these tents behind me for about 3 or 4 hours waiting for this rain to end just so he could sing for us. Why is this so important to you, Brian?
Well, because I like to participate in Pride. It's a fun event. It was going to be really exciting, and unfortunately, they decided to pull the plug for safety reasons, which is good. We don't want to get electrocuted, so.
Well, this also isn't the only place we could see you. You were just at the Virgin Megastore celebrating Pride and now back out again. Do you think people can maybe see you too much?
I hope not. I hope that they keep wanting to see me, so.
Well, I've been waiting to see you and I didn't get to see you sing. Could you please sing? Well, I love Breathe Life, but I'm going to give it to you since you waited. Any track you want, a cappella, exclusive, Brian Kent.
I'll give you the chorus.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Breathe life into me, show me the way, and all I can say is I never felt so alive.
Brian Kent, celebrating the 39th annual Heritage of Pride Parade. Even in the rain, he is singing for us. I know we'll find him somewhere else, but this is a night that he's glowing in the rain. Brian Kent, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Ryan.
Free hug?
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, there's no boo-hoo-hoo because we're stuck in the rain. Megan is lifting my spirits. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm wet. I noticed that you're wet, and this has not deterred you. Tell me about your Pride in 2008.
I'm full of pride. I'm not gay. My friends are gay, but I'm still proud.
Have you ever been to this event before?
No, it's our first time. We're virgins.
Now, as a virgin, Megan, it is pouring out. The sun is gone. How come you're still here? What's so alluring to you?
Because it's time to have fun. Can't rain on the parade.
What has been the most fun for you today?
Definitely the outfits.
The outfits. Now, this is your first time making at a Pride event. How did you figure out what to wear?
I just wear regular clothes.
Well, you know, I wore some regular clothes. If we can, I have a nighttime outfit, man.
Sure.
All right, this is my nighttime outfit, and it is raining.
Oh, sexy.
Nice.
All right, do you have a babysitter?
No, I do not.
Well, I love that you're out here in the rain. What's your night plans?
Going home because I have 2 young to drink.
Will we see you next year?
Yes, absolutely. We'll be 21. We'll be all over.
Who are you with?
This is my friend Michael.
My boy's 21, so he's out at the bar right.
Now, notice you guys have a new blouse with you. Can we see it?
Oh, yeah.
New blouse, new blouse.
Oh.
Obama!
Obama!
Now, here's my question. Is Obama gay?
No, I just like it.
No, yeah, he just likes it. He's just a nice guy.
Obama Pride at Gay Pride, checking in right here. We're on Hudson Street celebrating the 39th annual Pride Fest in the rain. Well, can you imagine reading a magazine or a newspaper in the rain? You can after this man does all of the research. Ladies and gentlemen, Jed Ryan, how are you?
Well, just fine, Ryan.
Happy Pride. Now, if you could just look around us, a lot of people are leaving. Some have stayed. The rain has come. The rain is gone. But what have you seen today, Jed Ryan, that you might be writing about?
Well, I always did love the wet look, but the one thing that we can see, and it doesn't matter like what kind of weather you'll get, is the spirit, and people just kept on marching, and the applause from people in the sidelines, whether they were looking through their window or whether they were hiding under some awning somewhere, was they were just rooting us on. No matter what organization you belong to, nobody left, they just kept charging through, you know. Umbrellas be damned, you know. The spirit just keeps on marching, you know.
Notice he used the word rooting us on. He's aligned with me in community of media. I love it. I love it.
Not just in community and media, but in spirit too, you know, because, you know, very rarely do you find someone who really cares about the community as a whole and works really like, you know, like selflessly to really promote the artistic aspects of the queer community.
Thank you, Jed.
Beyond too, so.
Well, one of the things I want to ask you, this is 39 years in the making. How many years have you been covering Pride? It's not a joke question. No, here's a joke. Knock, knock.
Since before the advent of the internet, but after vinyl, sometime after like vinyl records and before the internet. So it was about 1994, a little bit before then. It was actually 94 that I actually put pen to paper, but I was observing like, you know, the LGBT scene for much longer than that. And realized that like, you know, every little bit makes a difference, you know, every single observation, you know. We may be used to it, but you could be sharing it with somebody like in, you know, East Bumblefuck, Idaho, you know, who just loves reading about all this, you know. And,
well, how has this event changed? I've heard now with the inclusion of the straight alliances, this event has become more corporate. It's more about business, less about community. I'm also a reporter, but you're as a print reporter, so I'm going to toss it to you. How has the event changed? Pride in general. Jed Ryan.
Well, I should think it's changing. Not necessarily for the better or for the worse, but it's just changing. And you know, nowadays you see the straight kids coming to queer bars, and I think that's just a general sign of acceptance. Our next challenge is finding new ways to be innovative and remembering what makes us different. Because we're not fighting for the right to be the same as everybody else. Now we have to fight more than ever to be different than everybody else. You know? And I'm ready to lead the way.
Lead the way and bring us with you. He's been here since, well, before it changed, and he's back today, and I'm honored. Ladies and gentlemen, Jed Ryan, 39th Annual Heritage of Pride Parade.
And please bring your umbrella, you know, next time, you know.
Wait a minute, does not he look attractive wet? I mean, I feel like I could just touch him because I'm trying to wipe the water off. I couldn't do that if he was dry.
Oh, you could do it if you were dry.
Jed, you're wet. Let me wipe the water off. Where are we anyway? We are on Hudson and Gavin-Sport.
This is Ryan Idle from Out and About Media.
He's also a Ryan. I'm a Ryan.
Yes. Ryan.
So do you have a favorite number? My dad's was B6. Well, maybe she has a favorite number. The host of Center Bingo, Lady Clover Honey.
Hello. Of course, 069 gets a big thrill. Then there's before the parade passes by. Here we are at the Pride Parade. It rained, but we don't care. The men just took their shirts off. We just got wet. And we always know to wear waterproof makeup, don't we?
Now, before we knew we were going to get wet, did you pick an outfit that would dry easily?
Of course I did. I always be prepared. That's always been my motto. And to be prepared. How do you like this nice umbrella?
It's like I'm at Great Adventure with a splash right now. I love saying that Clover Honey is the bingo queen, but she's much more than that. She is the host from Under the Pink Carpet television. She's on the film A Four-Letter Word, Between Loving and Bi. You've been a guest on Out and About TV. But as we walk forward for 39 years after the Stonewall Revolution, what do you try to emulate that says Pride, Lady Clover Honey?
Just have your own style, and bright colors always helps. And being tall and gorgeous always helps too, but you don't have to. Everyone's gorgeous in their own way.
What else can I say? It's Lady Clover Honey, 39th Annual Heritage of Pride. Now, Clover, what are you looking for at the Pride Fest?
I'm looking for outrageousness. I'm looking for fabulous queens with ostrich plumes. I'm looking for gorgeous men with their shirts off and fearless dykes.
Well, if you're watching this at home or you're watching this on the internet, I bet you're asking yourself the same thing. When is Lady Clover Honey going to spin that umbrella and make the rainbow twirl? Here we go!
Somewhere over the rainbow, if you want to have a rainbow, you have to have some rain.
Lady Clover, honey, happy Pride.
Rolling.
So 39 years ago, there was a little fight on Chris Street. Well, okay, a big fight, and it changed the world. But at that point, we didn't have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, queer television to cover it. But now, there's Logo. Masa, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? Isn't this great? It's lovely. We have everything at Logo now.
But let me quick ask you. We are celebrating LGBT Pride. Does Logo cover lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender?
Oh yes. Yes, we cover everything now. And we have actually a new show, Sorted Lives, beginning July 23rd. And you guys should watch it. It's great, it's hilarious. And a lot of different things like Noah's Ark.
Wilson Cruz, I heard there's a movie.
Yes.
There's a movie. It's
coming out in fall. So you guys should tune in, watch, and everything that you guys need, we're trying to make it happen for you.
Now, I got a quick question. This is the impromptu. 39 years later, they never thought that they would have equality like we have. God, we can get married in California and come back to New York and have it recognized, but now we can be on TV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and being represented properly. What is in the future for Logo?
We have a lot of programs that they are working on, and you know, the thing is that it's getting better and better, and we're trying to make it you know, convenient for everybody, and everything that the LGBT community needs, we're trying to get for you. So, you know, we have different shows coming up. So
I guess we should just continue to celebrate. Who thought 39 years ago we'd have equality? We'd now soon have marriages recognized and 24-hour gay television. High five, high five.
High five.
You guys are doing it right. Let's check out a little bit more before we have to end at the 39th Annual Heritage of Pride, Pridefest.
July 23rd.
Some of these drag queens just think they're the most beautiful things in the world. Well, darlings, I'm not a drag queen, but I have a prettier hat than Clover, honey.
Well, that's better said. That's up to debate. But of course, everyone should be wearing
hats. Show your hat. You're hiding your hat. Show it. Bend the brim down, girl. Bend it a little bit in the rain.
Well, as long as I see my breasts and my beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, I have beautiful blue eyes too. But look at my pretty yellow, look at my beautiful pink umbrella with frills. Look at this tired old rainbow, traditional rainbow that.
Well, rainbows are overdone a bit.
They are overdone.
Right.
You're overdone.
Well,
is that what you're saying? You're admitting it?
Less is not more.
Oh, more is always more and better. The more, the better.
Okay, Pride Parade.
All right, queer media folks, be nice, be nice. Lady Clover.
Oh, give me a kiss, Clover. Let's make it.
Let me get in the middle. Let me get in the middle. You know to my left, this is the legendary Randolfe Wicker right here. And to my right is Lady Clover Honey. This is the 39th Annual Heritage of Pride Parade. He was been around and made this event happen before 39 years ago. Clover's been covering it relentlessly.
She's been covering it for 59 years. I've only been here for 40.
And I'm the new young folks. So I'd love for you both to say something sweet and nice about Ryan.
He's gorgeous.
He's a hot young stud. I wish I was that age again. I'd set the world on fire, let me tell you.
He is my age because I'm living through him, he's living through me, I'm living through Clover. And together we came and we supported the LGBT community of New York City. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Clover Honey.
And I'm Randy Wicker.
Celebrating the 39th Annual Heritage of Pride, well, Parade and Pride Fest. Till next time, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.